Hello, I'm Matt.
Hi, I'm Alan, and this is Zed Patient Zero. This week, I think we're gonna broach the subject of, well, what the heck is a zombie?
I mean, what is a zombie? I mean, what do you think a zombie is?
And more importantly, I think, well, maybe not more importantly, but more interestingly to me, is were you aware of a few facts? Not the least of which, that the world population has broached 7 billion souls.
7 billion people. That's a lot of people.
7 billion freaking people! Over 1 billion of them don't have access to clean water. You know what unclean water breeds, don't you? Disease. You know what zombieism is, don't you?
It's a disease.
It's a freaking disease, man! 1 billion zombies all at once would decimate the world population.
Easily. That's a lot of freaking zombies, dude.
That's a lot of zombies.
That's a lot of zombies.
So we're going to have to throw some props out to a website that Matt here discovered in his research. It's called Zombiepedia.
It's like Wikipedia, but it's zombies.
Yeah, it's just a wiki page about zombies. Well, not even a page, it's a whole site, like Wikipedia for Star Wars nuts.
Exactly.
So,
Throwing George some props.
Yeah, I guess you can get some insight into our personalities right there. I got this article here. I'm not going to read the whole article. It's a bit wordy. While normally I wouldn't mind. I'm kind of long-winded. I am going to throw you guys a little paragraph here, so please be patient and no TLDR. Okay, here we go. A zombie, in its broadest sense, is a person who has lost his or her sense of self-awareness and identity, and cares only for the destruction, and often consumption, of any human around, no matter what the circumstances or cost to his or herself. They make up for this loss of intelligence in sheer numbers, as the state of zombieism is almost always contagious and spreads like wildfire. Technically speaking, true zombies are always dead and reanimated. But to further that, I'd like to state science, as of this very moment, is not wholly aware of the moment in the lifespan of an organism that death actually occurs. Now, there are several phases.
So what you're basically saying is they know that for what they know is so far, there's always a point they can bring you back. They don't know what the moment is where they can't bring you back.
Well, there are several phases. You see, there's brain death, which is where the brain as a whole ceases to function like a unit. Then, prior to brain death would be, just body death. Your heart stops. Your lungs aren't aspirating. Your liver shuts down. All of your organs begin to shut down. Now, almost all of that is reversible. The moment of brain death can, at times, be revived. You can come back from that. It happens. But then there's beyond brain death, there's cellular death. That's where the individual cells that make up these structures begin to die en masse. Okay? That's the point in the movies and the TV shows. That brain death moment is the point when the virus or the unknowable disease or, whatever, takes over that brain function. So that the cells of the brain are still alive, still capable of sustaining and maintaining that virus, but to a further extent aren't functional on their own anymore. But then there's cellular death, wherein if it were a virus, would kill the virus. Were it some sort of symbiotic parasite, a special type of amoeba or Toxoplasmosis gondii, would cease to be able to support that life form and would be counterproductive, so it would need to keep you alive somehow. Further than that, though, there are other types of zombies as portrayed in different types of media. There are voodoo zombies, which use an alkaloid powder derived from blowfish toxin to essentially kill you, but you're not dead. It slows down your metabolic processes so that you appear dead. Then you're interred, and they dig you back up, and when it wears off, you're brainless. You fit the definition of a generic zombie at that point, and they order you to do things, and you just do them. You have no concern for the self. It obliterates all upper brain function. And that's a real thing, but that's not transmissible. That's not something that if you had that happen to you, you're not going to bite me and I'm going to get it.
No.
But then there's virus. There's viruses. There's different types of zombies based on the transmission method. But we're probably going to have to go into that in more detail in another episode. But I really just wanted
what it said about. Insanity fits that description.
Exactly. Several types of
insanity
of neurological disorders can cause that. Yeah. So, I mean, it doesn't have to be Dawn of the Dead. It doesn't have to be Shaun of the Dead.
I hope it is Shaun of the Dead.
Oh, me too, because they had a good 3-4 days to get to come to terms with what was going on, and they were just oblivious. Somebody on the ball, somebody checking the news, would have been ahead of the game by weeks in a Shaun of the Dead type situation. Yeah. But that was kind of the joke, I think, of the movie.
It was hilarious.
It was very funny.
Good movie.
And in case you're not obviously aware, we're fans of that kind of stuff. All right. We've discussed a couple of different types of zombies. We've discussed what is a zombie. We've discussed death in general. I think we've both said enough.
Yeah. Anyway, until next time.
Until next time. Next week. Same zombie time.
Same zombie channel.
This is Zed Patient Zero. See you next week. Survive.